But of course, everyone trying to get reaction at the moment to this sudden trend of fan involvement at football clubs. We heard earlier on from the extremely articulate Dan Silver, who represents the Chelsea Supporters Trust. Dan now telling us just how pleased Chelsea are to have an involvement, the fans' involvement with the football club. Tottenham, we'll see what happens with that, because they've got a 6-point plan, but good luck with that, because it seems pretty ambitious. Of course, we are yet to hear any kind of reaction from the very top of the house at Manchester United. And of course, the top of the house means the Glazers.
Do you have anything to say to Manchester United fans, Mr. Glazer? Is it time to sell the club, Mr. Glazer? Nothing to say at all. Are the fans just customers to you? Is the customer always right, Mr. Glazer? Nothing to say at all to the fans of Manchester United, Mr. Glazer. This is an opportunity for you. An apology, perhaps.
Now, that was a one-way exchange, quite obviously, between Sky News reporter Sally Lockwood in Florida yesterday and Avram Glazer, who appeared walking from building to car, and Sally, doing her job, quite rightly, got in front of him to try and get some kind of opinion from him. But it went nowhere. So, Trevor, clearly the answer to that is no. The Glazers are in no mood to speak. Now, you would have thought, would you not? I've been in a situation like that before with Abraham Glazer, funnily enough, outside the Etihad. When City beat United, and out he came. It was Vincent Kompany header on the night. And Abraham Glazer knew he wasn't masked up then, because nothing to do with COVID. And he looks at me, kept walking. So what you do in a situation like that is you persist with your line of questioning, but didn't flinch, got in a vehicle and left, just as he did yesterday in front of Sally.
Seen it all, but I think he's seen it all before, hasn't he? He understands the dynamics at the football club, the fans, they're not happy. Listen, I've got a footballer that goes to my academy that plays for FC United. That club was born out of fan frustration at Manchester United. You know, at the time, the green and yellow, green and gold, whatever you want to call it, that was anonymous when Manchester United were winning things under Sir Alex Ferguson. So when you hear people come on and say, oh yeah, but they're only remonstrating now because they're not winning things, that's a load of rubbish. Manchester United fans have been demonstrating in their tens of thousands about the Glazers owning that football club, because they know the business model. They know that they're putting the football club in so much debt that, I mean, it's unbelievable what they're doing to that football club. And then they're servicing the debt and paying themselves dividends each year as owners of the football club. What the club want and what the fans want is owners that are going to go in and put their own money in and not put the football club into debt, and then start looking at the facilities at the football club. The stadium, it needs overhauling. You look at the academy, it used to be first in class. It's nowhere near that at Carrington. You know, you look at what Manchester City have built, you look at what Tottenham have built. Manchester United are becoming an average club.
Well, what we saw yesterday was
same academy has just thrown out Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford and a list of other players that are the highest calibre. Yeah. Listen, I mean, when we're talking about debt, let's have a look at Barcelona then. I'm not defending the Glazers model. It's a grown-up model that people in football don't like. It's the way businesses get bought. It's not an ideal way for a football club, because a football club has a unique set of values to it. But it's business, and that's the way business operates at time. The journalist at Door stopped him yesterday. Well, okay, if you like that kind of broadcasting, that's down to the individual taste and flavour. But what I don't like is if you're going to rewrite the narrative. He didn't refuse to apologise. The narrative that was spun out for everyone to listen to was Avram Glazer refused to apologise. No, he just didn't engage with a journalist.
No, he was given the opportunity to apologise.
No, he just didn't engage. He didn't say, I'm not apologising. He just did not comment. So it's not the same narrative. It's spinning out headlines that create news cycles, and that's why broadcasters are doing it. They're not doing it for the well-being of football. They're doing it for news cycles.
It was the right thing to do. Obviously, what's Sally Lockwood going to say? Hi, Avram. There's your car. Lovely car.
No, I don't know what she's going to do. I watched her commentary in Minnesota, and I wasn't enamoured by her there. But but the dynamics of what she should and shouldn't do is it should be positioned properly.
Here's the situation.
Jim, he didn't refuse to apologise.
Let me educate you in this.
refuse to apologise?
Of course he refused to apologise. He didn't open his trap.
Did he turn round to the camera and say, I refuse to apologise to Manchester United fans?
Was he given the opportunity to apologise?
Well, it's because you give him an opportunity doesn't mean he has to take your opportunity. Maybe he has a different mechanism. Maybe he wants to go about it a different way and not give you a news cycle. How about that?
Should he not have shown just that bit of respect?
Based upon what? Based upon the respect that he was afforded
based
him.
Upon what?
He's going down the road buying some hair care products, or perhaps he should be, by the state of his hair.
Yeah.
But, and gets door-stopped by a journalist out of the clear blue sky.
Yeah.
Why should he have afford her any respect?
Why should he not?
Because why should he? He doesn't owe her
why
respect.
Should he? No, let me throw that back to you. Why should he not?
I'll tell you who he might owe respect to. Man United fans. And he doesn't have to use your mechanism to deliver that. He can do it a different way. It will suit you
but
for him to use his mechanism.
A different way. Joe Glazer put out a statement the other night that they totally laughed at and rejected
and
the United fans.
It, right?
And they didn't accept it.
And I understand that. But
so there yesterday, Jim, after a whole bunch of research, we hear Avram Glazer. Listen to me for a second. Avram Glazer is going to be in Florida at such and such a time, in such and such a place, and we'll be walking from that building to that car. There's your chance.
That's great, Jim.
Any good broadcast journalist would make it their job to get in front of Glazer, as I would have done.
And that's
yesterday.
right, Jim. And I agree with you, right? But any good broadcast journalist would then have the integrity to make sure that actually what happened was framed properly, because he didn't refuse to apologise. The reasons why... Hold on, Jim. I listened to you. The reasons why it was framed that way is because that grabs the headline. The fact that he actually said nothing isn't of interest to people. The fact that the soundbite, which is, he refused to apologise, and people say, he never did. Did he go on television and say, I'm absolutely not apologising to Man United fans? No, he didn't do that.
Well, of course he wouldn't.
Well, that's the framework,
Simon, here's the deal.
That's how you advance.
Here's the deal. And again, let me educate you in this. His silence spoke volumes.
Yes, it did. He decided not.
He was asked all the right questions.
He decided not to allow a scabby broadcaster to misrepresent what he wanted to say.
Excuse me. Why are they a scab? Why would you? Why for one moment would you describe that as a scabby journalism or a scabby broadcaster?
Because I think some of the manner in which Sky News framework some of the content is outrageous and has been proven to be over the last 12 months on a variety of different subjects. Now, we will agree to disagree. I accept your point of view that a good journalist... Hold on, Jim. That a good journalist operated within the current framework of how media represents stories would have done precisely what Sally Lockwood would do. Right, which is doorstop someone, try and get a news cycle. But don't be sitting here and telling me that's for the benefit of Man United fans and that there's a good cause behind it. It's to be able to get some news cycles for the next news cycle, for the next news cycle, and then misrepresent it. You want to be a good journalist,
a simple question
have some integrity.
That's nonsense. Of course, who liked integrity?
The nature of the content that was represented as the Glazers. I'm not don't get me on the wrong side of this, by the way. I'm not defending the Glazers. They just don't choose to use the framework of Sky to impart their message. And you don't have a God-given right to expect that.
They don't choose to speak to anyone. That could have been a reporter from CNN. That could have been a reporter from your beloved Fox News yesterday.
If I wanted to speak to some of my beloved Fox News, I don't even watch it. If I was sat here and I wanted to communicate with Man United fans, shall I tell you what I wouldn't use? Sky News. I wouldn't use Sky News to do it. I'd use a direct methodology. And we're going to criticise the Glazers for not doing that, and that's fair, but I would not use that channel, thank you very much.
That was a broadcaster doing their job, and that was a reporter doing her job yesterday.
We agree.
And the questions,
in the same way,
let me finish, the questions that Sally asked were precisely the correct questions that we want answers to.
And I would expect you to defend your trade.
What we're seeing every day in, day out, have we heard from the Glazers yet? Have we heard from the Glazers yet? There's Avram Glazer,
and he didn't want to speak to a particular news channel at that moment in time. Yeah. It's not your God-given right to expect him to do that, and you're not doing it for Man United fans. You're doing it for news cycles.
I'll tell you more accurate what it is.
Tell me.
It's your job.
As a journalist,
Sally's job, and my job.
Right. And I agree with it. I accept it. I don't like that. I don't like that side of it, but I accept it because it is your job.
Good. 11:30.